I never thought I had an accent, but everyone else told me I did, so I never really understood my accent. But we say soda pop, and that was weird, I guess.
The great thing about Oklahoma is it's really this confluence of a whole bunch of different parts of the country. So the northern part of the state is really like the plains, so people kind of have that flat Iowa accent.
People always know I'm from the Midwest when I say bagel.
But if you get down south to the Little Dixie portion, it has a much more of a southern drawl.
Elongating those vowels a little bit.
And saying y'all every sentence.
How y'all doing today?
Y'all want to go to Waffle House? Come on over, we'll go to Waffle House.
It's just like real round in your mouth, and you're just like, hey y'all, how we doing tonight? Are you guys gonna go down to the game this weekend? I'm so excited. Like Joshua's doing real great this year.
Everybody talks really slow, especially compared to New Yorkers.
Most New Yorkers are loud. You gotta fit your way into a conversation most oftentimes when you're in New York.
Vermont's accent is very unique, and it's hard to slip into unless you're talking to another person who like grew up farming. But the phrase that I can say in my accent is always, oh sure, bud. Oh sure.
People from California kind of have like, they say like.
Colorado doesn't really have a typical accent. Lots of people say that it has no accent, but you'll definitely get called out if you say Colorado. It's Colorado.
So I've been told from people in New York that my state has an accent. Some people go Chicago. I don't think we do.
There's parts that I can hear like a little bit of a twang and kind of sound like this.
Some people in New Mexico have accents, depending on what part of the state you're from. People in the South tend to sound a little bit more like they could be from Texas.
Really wide syllables, really kind of drawn out phrases.
It's a little sing-songy, like a little bit Valley Girl almost. I'm from New Mexico and I love eating burritos.
You wanna go skiing up on mountain?
Pass me those taters.
I don't know, I mean like there's cowboys, you know, there's horses. I don't know, because I don't feel like I have an accent.
I went home a couple of years ago and was watching home videos of my sister and I, and we had to like do a weather forecast as like little kids, and we'd be like, there's a big hurricane coming from the left coast, but don't worry because we don't know that it's coming. And people would be like, what are you saying?
I can put on the, you gotta park the car and hop the yard and give the guy a quarter for some chowder. That's a standard Boston accent right there.
Any ER would have an AH at the end.
It's kind of like Boston, but cooler and a bit more drunk. Like, we gotta go up to Baja, but I get some lobster supper.
My mom has this kind of strange half French Canadian, half Boston accent that sounds like peanut characters. Womp womp. Womp 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 womp.
Well, if you're from North Dakota, you've got some long O's.
Oh yeah, you betcha.
You hang on to your R's a little too.
It gets a little bit thicker the older you are. Your grandma sounds a little bit like this. Your mom might be a little bit softer.
I'm from Wisconsin. Go Pack Go. It kind of gets like up here. Go Pack. I say big. I have some eggs in a bag.
The best example of the Wyoming accent I feel like I've ever seen was in Brokeback Mountain. One curve in the road and they missed it.
So if you live in Washington State, no one ever says they have an accent. They all think they speak pretty normal, which is kind of true.
Just kind of middle of the road. Sort of like Delaware itself.
But they also kind of have like a country hit kind of thing to them. So they'll say like, Worshington, like I'm gonna wash my hands, and you're like, worsh? What kind of a word is that?
We pronounce our T's as D, so we say like Connecticut instead of Connecticut.
I feel like Michigan's typical accent is very nasally. Hi, like that type of vibe.
So if I'm from like Northside Kauai, I'm going to sound something like this.
People say that us Marylanders have accents, but I don't think we have an accent.
Idaho doesn't have a really distinct accent.
There's no accent in Indiana.
This might be very biased, but I really don't think we have an accent.
I don't hear it, but I get reminded of it when I travel.
I mean, I think this is normal.
It's a perfect neutral Pacific Northwest tone. Sarah Palin does not have a typical Alaska accent. She's not really from there. She grew up in, I don't know, Kansas or something.
My husband laughs at me because I say wolf instead of wolf.
Our accents are all over the place.
The first one that comes to my head is a Latino one. Me voy a coger un cortadito.
There's the St. Louis accent where we say certain things like quarters and water.
Where I'm from, they like to say Hena or Mayan. That shirt over there is Mayan. From Philly, they like to say wooder and yous guys. But in Pittsburgh, instead of yous guys, they say yins. What are yins doing?
North Carolina is it's an interesting accent. It's just got a little bit of a drawl.
It's a little lazier.
Just very slow pace, very good, very nice.
There's Charleston, South Carolina, which is more like this. It's more smooth. It might have a daughter named Darcy.
And then you got the real squealy Southern accent. And then you just got the very just, hey, how you doing? God bless. You have a good day now.
Is that good?